Hell continues to break loose on NXT.
What up, Mox?
Guys, let's get right into this NXT review and reaction from tonight's episode of NXT. It started off with Adam Cole in the ring. He was supposed to choose his opponent, but he refused to. Carmelo Hayes, the upstart, comes out, challenges him, slaps him in the face. They have a match. Obviously, you know who's going to win this match. It's Adam Cole, baby. He has his match coming up at Great American Bash against Kyle O'Reilly. So it's a nice little match for, Carmelo Hayes to get out there, face top guy in Adam Cole. But, he still has issues with William Regal, Adam Cole does, and Samoa Joe from what transpired last week. So he's beefing with three people right now: Kyle O'Reilly, Samoa Joe, and William Regal. We'll see what goes forward and what more stuff will go on between now and that Great American Bash special episode of NXT.
Yeah, shout out to Carmelo Hayes for using the old John Cena ruthless aggression tactic.
Yes.
That was a hell of a way to come in and use that. I don't know if it was the right time to use that, but okay, we did it. We used it.
It was kind of corny. It was kind of corny.
Yeah. It didn't really hit for me, and I didn't love it. I was like, I don't know, is this guy the next John Cena? I doubt it, but okay, we'll see. All right, that's who you're choosing. Okay, but Carmelo Hayes. Adam Cole now doing the whole Barrett Corwin effect where he's feuding with half the roster, so that's something. Yes, it's definitely was a nice way to start off the show. You're trying to push a young guy, but at the end of the day, it's Adam Cole's storyline.
Yep.
Where's it gonna go? What's his next step? Who's his next fight? That's what we're interested in.
Yeah, definitely. And then the next thing that would happen on the show would be a tag team match. So there's a lot of women right now vying for that tag team title, which is a good thing. But the championship, the women's championship, is going on the back burner for just a bit, it seems like.
Yes.
So we have Zoe Stark and Io Shirai taking on Aaliyah and Jessi Kamea, which is kind of an overmatched, that team of Aaliyah, Jessi Kamea with Zoe Stark, and especially Io Shirai. They do get the win, Stark and Shirai, and then you would have Indy and Candice LeRae come out, kind of tease that they're going to get in the ring. Then you have Raquel and Dakota Kai come out. They start talking trash. Then you have Shotzi and Ember Moon. So you have a bunch of teams right there vying. They would all brawl as Indy and Candice would kind of stay back and kind of fall back. Samoa Joe would come out, call in the cavalry, try to break everything.
Get security out here. Get in there.
We try to break everything up. So it's next week we're gonna have a number one contendership match, triple threat, 3 tag teams. You got Stark and Shirai, Raquel and Kai, and you have Shotzi and Ember. So it's gonna be, it's gonna be good stuff. I do like, okay, so you can either take it one of two ways. You could be upset that Raquel Gonzalez is in a tag team currently as the champion and she doesn't have any opponents, but they're breeding like other women to kind of take her up on that singles platform. So that could be Franky Monet, it could be somebody else. So, but we at least we're getting some action and some rivalry when it comes to the women's tag team titles, at least on NXT.
Yeah, the NXT Women's Championship is already an established title that has already like a history. It's got epic matches. It has its lineage. Where these new women's tag team champions, they're trying to do the opposite of what's going on the main roster, and they're trying to build a division and make it interesting. And now we have, like we said last week, they built a lot of depth. They have a great little tag team division right now, that's working out. And any of these teams are viable. They could maybe not the Roderick Strong brand, especially with that suit. But at the end of the day, there's still there's somebody there. There's something established there to look forward to, and it could take a back burner for a month or two, maybe not a month or two, but definitely for the next month. Just push the tag team titles, and then we could work either. I don't know, whoever, whether it's Franky Monet, to whatever, but Toni Storm, she never really clicked, I guess. It hasn't really worked out so far, but, there's definitely talent there in singles division too. So, but let's right now worry about the tag team division. This is the focal point of the women's division right now, so I'm okay with it. I think it's good to establish these titles.
Yeah, it really is. Like you said, the championship, the singles is already established. You can just go immediately into another feud after following this, but all 6 women can really go in the ring, and for Great American Bash, setting up this match to see who will face the champions of Great American Bash, it's going to be a solid stuff that we're going to see going forward, and it's good stuff for that title compared to what we get on the main roster with those tag titles. Next in the show, Johnny Gargano and Austin Theory out there telling the NXT fans that NXT needs a new champion because there's new management. He calls out Karrion Kross, but Pete Dunne is the one that comes out with Oni Lorcan. They get in each other's faces as the way backs away. You have Austin Theory talking trash, pointing in the face of Pete Dunne. He gets his fingers cracked.
He might not want to watch him.
So then, obviously Johnny Wrestling be upset, but William Regal says you have a tag team match against Lorcan and Burch, and that match would happen. And it's a really, really good match. Obviously, all 4 people involved, a lot of fun to watch, especially Pete Dunne and Johnny Gargano. Gargano, in theory, get the win, and then Gargano will get attacked by Karrion Kross. So it seems to be the next person in line, maybe before Great American Bash or at Great American Bash, to take on Karrion Kross for the NXT Championship.
Yeah, I think it'll be an American Bash match. I think it makes sense. It's 2 weeks away, so they can have another week to probably call on the match or whatever to make the match official. But yeah, good match, good segment. The way's kind of growing on me. I wasn't loving the way for the longest time, but over the last few weeks, I think Austin Theory, they got this fun little. The comedy's finally funny. Before it was kind of just corny. Yeah. Like I remember the Christmas stuff they were doing, all that stuff. I never liked it, but now with the Theory stuff going on, it's working for me right now. So I'm digging it. Gargano's, I love Gargano. Everything he does is great, but this is really hitting for me now. I'm liking the way he's just going in. Even his the altercation with Regal is funny. Like all that stuff is good. So yeah, definitely the match that makes the most sense. Gargano, probably in 2 weeks for the NXT title.
Yeah, we could also see Gargano versus Dunne to see a number 1 contendership for Great American Bash. Also, we did have Pete Dunne, another staring contest with Samoa Joe. So are they teasing something there for a future match? I don't know. It could happen, but is Pete Dunne the guy to take on Karrion Kross at the next takeover, or is it earlier than that? We'll see what happens. There's 2 guys right there, Gargano and Dunne, that are kind of right there in the face of Kross for that next title shot. So we'll see who ends up getting that title shot next. Next thing in the show, Franky Monet in her encore debut. It's her second match. She's taking on Elektra Lopez. Monet gets the win, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, I think Monet's a star. I think Taya Valkyrie's a star. So obviously Monet's a star. I the name's a little bit different, but it's cool. It works. She's still a Huera Loca, so it's fun stuff. She has a lot of personality, a lot of swagger, a lot of character. So I think she's the next in line as to be like the head of the division once Raquel Gonzalez kind of goes through her run and either moves up to the main roster or goes away for a little bit and they switch the title or something like that.
And her size, like she's bigger than a lot of the girls. I didn't notice that before, but just seeing her in the ring right now, just paying attention, like she's definitely bigger. She matches up against Raquel. Where is she gonna take the title right away? I doubt it, but it's definitely like believable because Raquel is so much bigger than all the girls that this kind of evens out the playing field a little bit. So it should be an interesting matchup.
Yeah, it should be. Now, the next thing on the show, we had Bronson Reed talking backstage. He would get interrupted by Hit Row. And then Everrise tried to spray paint the van of Hit Row for some reason. So obviously it seems like Swerve Scott is the next guy in line for Bronson Reed's title. If it's not Santos Escobar in some other form or fashion, we could see triple threats going forward, maybe a Great American Bash, something like that. But this will lead to Hit Row, Top Dollar, Shanti the Adonis taking on Everrise. Hit Row will get the win. So they're getting their wins here and there, slowly but surely, and eventually moving up the rankings when it comes to tag team wrestling. See if they get a shot eventually.
Yeah, every week they're growing. Every week we're seeing a little bit more of their promos, of their in-win work. It's slowly but surely growing. So far, it's working. I'm sure they'll keep going slowly and building methodically and getting them over and working their whole gimmick and their system out. So just good booking by NXT, and I'm sure within a couple months from now they'll be tag team champions, or in the cruiserweight. They might have all the gold at one point. Cruiserweight tag team titles, you just never know. Or North American title, many different titles out there for them to get.
Yeah, it could be. We could see that go down. There's a couple things we have. Obviously, Great American Bash is MSK versus Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher. Yeah. We have that match. So anything coming out of that match, we'll see where Hit Row gets involved there, and anybody else like Grizzly Young Veteran, stuff like that. Next thing the show was Kushida versus Kyle O'Reilly, match that was set up last week. It's a big match, right? It's 2 guys that can really go, some of the best wrestlers in the world going at each other. Kyle O'Reilly gets the win here, right? And a very, very good match. Very good match between the two, obviously. He would get attacked afterwards, Kyle O'Reilly, by Adam Cole. They would brawl, keep going all the way to the, again, taken to the crowd and everything like that. Leaving Kushida in the ring by himself to get attacked by none other than the Diamond Mine, which consists of Roderick Strong, Tyler Rust, Hideki Suzuki, and their manager seems to be Malcolm Bivens. Remember Malcolm Bivens? Malcolm Bivens was Tyler Rust's manager for a while. We saw Tyler Rust for a little bit, disappeared. Now he's back and he's part of the Diamond Mine, which is now officially open. Seems to have their eyes set on that Cruiserweight title in Kushida. At least Roderick Strong does. He's the spearhead of the group. He's obviously going to be the guy going for that title probably. And we might see Suzuki and Russ go for like a tag team. But this is the crew. It's been teased for a while. And at first, when it was first teased, I didn't even notice it. Like I thought it was a commercial for something else, but it was a vignette, whatever. And it's kind of disappointing, to be honest with you. The crew, I was expecting something bigger, like, you know, for it to be teased that long and something like that. And I felt like it had to be more of like MMA type guys like that, because that's the way they were building it. You know. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of disappointing, to be honest with you, but hopefully, you know, it allows Strong a chance to kind of, you know, get out of the shadow of what was Undisputed Era. But it will be interesting to see how it turns out. But again, it was a little bit disappointing.
Yeah, it felt flat for me. I didn't love the ending. Nothing to do with the guys. I just don't feel like, I don't know, like this group doesn't really feel that big or that important or that menacing. So we'll see. They can prove us wrong and they can book them right. We got trust in NXT brass. They'll probably figure it out and we'll love this group. I mean, I love the group, but we'll definitely be interested in the group. But yeah, this first segment was great. I don't love Malcolm Blevins either.
I'm not a huge fan of him either. Yeah, as a manager.
Not a huge fan of him either. I don't get it. I don't understand why he's around. And then Roderick, he's the leader now. He wasn't like, he was always like the guy in the background, which in ring work was really good. But the issue with him is like he's never had the big enough personality or felt that important because of his personality being so much more muted. So now he's like the head of the table. He's the king of the of this group. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe he'll shock us, surprise us, and it'll be something big. But I don't know. The first time out, did not enjoy it, did not love it. But it was what it was. It fell flat.
Yeah, and we'll see if, like I said, with him being the leader, if he's able to thrive and show some more character and evolve.
I hope, I'm hoping he does.
Yeah, I really hope he does. In terms of entertainment or something like that. Maybe his wife, Maria Shafir, gets involved as well with her MMA background. So maybe she gets involved there as well. Malcolm Bivens, it's like his third iteration. I think we've seen him as a manager. Didn't work out with Indus Sher. Didn't really work out with Tyler Rust. Now he's here. I'm not sure.
It wasn't his fault.
It wasn't his fault. One of the guys decided to spoil the match at Great American Bash last year. The beginning,
that wasn't his fault.
That's not on him, but we'll see how he works out in this. Like I said, we're not huge fans of him as a manager, you know, but yeah, we'll see what happens. But a little bit disappointing to see the reveal of Diamond Mine after being hyped for such a long time. But guys, that's NXT review and reaction. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure you drop a like on this video, hit the chair in the corner before it hits your first sub to the channel. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. We'll catch you guys on the next one. If it doesn't work for you, brother, do not do the job.
Later, box.